Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
And with that merry song in our hearts, welcome to Divinity Original Sin 2, because the first one traumatized me too much to play it again.
Comrade. It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So I woke up on a ship chained to a table, as one does. And the lady told me to meet her upstairs after the trucks wore off.
The sedative will wear off soon enough.
Kinky.
Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
I went upstairs and met an elf who licked my arm and told me I was socially awkward.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were desperate to speak up, to reach out, to form a connection with these strange creatures. But you were scared, terrified even, of what they might think of you.
After that, some human made my collar not hurt, which was nice.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
And some delusional lizards disrespected my personal space bubble and tried to make me a slave instead of acknowledging my superior being and offering to be mine instead.
I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair man, but I won't spare the rod.
Then an old lady caused a scene.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Committed mass murder and stole my very special mask. I put on a bucket because I'm socially awkward, and if I can't see them, they can't see me. It didn't work though, and some bugs found me and viciously attacked me. Me being a pacifist, however, I sent my minions to fight them for me. As a sign of goodwill, I saved a few people from the sinking ship, and they repaid me by leaving me behind. Thanks for that, assholes.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
After a long trek on the ocean floor, I managed to get on land.
That was decidedly unpleasant.
There I found personal space bubble disrespecting lizard and asked him to join me, since I needed more minions to kill shit for me.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
It seems we are not the only ones taking on strays. No need to be jealous, Quercus. Fur maketh not the cat.
A mean lady called Dallas killed a lizard and I took a leg with me for study.
It seems I have one less jailer. How tragic. If only I could still shed tears.
Afterwards, I helped Collar adjust to resolve a dispute with minimal bloodshed.
Lone wolves decide their own business. How about we stick together? I've just got a small errand to run.
He wanted to join me while he ran his errands and asked me to be his best friend.
Lone wolves only share such information with friends. Are we going to be friends?
While I was trying to find a place to build my new beach home, some idiot tried to assassinate Lizardman. He did not succeed.
Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find it ever so invigorating to cut a cutthroat's throat.
Wolfman then scared the lady.
Scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben, miss! Ethan! Ben, miss! You killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer! Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody! Keep him away!
We found a blue lizard that Red Lizard wanted to talk to.
As you know, I need a word with him.
Blue Lizard told him about some weird prophecy and Red Lizard got really excited about that.
Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadow.
I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Druidinae.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
After that I found Armley-Gelf, who disrespected my personal space bubble by poking me with a needle.
You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into one of your neck's vertebrae.
She seemed unhinged, so I asked her to come along.
But the thought of travelling with one such as yourself quite enthuses me.
We went back to the blue lizard, and the crazy elf once again did not respect my personal bubble.
Sabine cups your chin between thumb and index finger, then guides your eyes to hers.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh.
And talk she did.
There's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground, face first into his own intestines.
Chat's over.
It made Red Lizard a bit upset, but her reasoning did make sense.
He scarred me, so I scarred him.
Crazy Elf wanted to have a chat with another guy called Griff, so we went there, and once again, no respect at all.
Her mouth reaches your ear with a whisper.
The talk went a bit less neatly than before, though.
We should make good on our escape, you know. I have to see a man about a wolf in the hollow marshes.
Is that thing eating corpses?
We came across a guy eating people who wanted a flower, so I gave him a flower. Then I found a lady named after the flower, and I gave her to him as well. Flower lady was really happy and told us a way out of the fort.
It opens a door leading into the fort that may help you get out of this wretched place.
On our way out, we meet a very nice man who disrespected my personal space bubbles.
He reaches out and gently touches your bandaged arm.
So I disrespected his as well.
The bare skin is taut and unyielding. You ponder how firmly attached it is as he breaks into a wide, toothy grin.
He was really into it.
A fellow aficionado.
We had a nice chat about faces and the removal thereof.
Flayed faces.
And he had a tool for removing said faces.
As it happens, I do have a toy you might find useful, but nothing comes for free, my dear. And in fact, I think I smell something I want.
And was willing to exchange it for the lizard leg I had in my pack for perfectly legitimate reasons.
He squeals in delight.
Bless you, Puppet. Oh, bless you. And here's the toy you wanted.
And then finally, after ignoring child labor laws, we made it out of Fort Joy.
You take a deep breath. You have escaped Fort Joy at last.
I am most grateful to have traded a sunny seaside for a dank swamp.
The kid that helped us get out said there was a safe place we could go.
You need a place to lay low for a while. I know a safe enough place. And tell Bahara I sent you.
After Wolfman disrespected the bubble laws again,
Ivan leans in to whisper in your ear.
He talked to a shady merchant and got a crossbow.
The undead's bony claw pulls an elaborate crossbow from seeming thin air.
Even and let me shoot the first arrow, which I obviously did with ease.
Care to fire the first arrow from Shadow's Eye?
The arrow soars long and far, whistling a dusky tune as it flies against the breeze. It hits the target dead on, fletchings quivering with the impact.
Knew you had it in you.
Then Crazy Elf took my hand, destroying my bubble completely and killed any sense of personal space I ever had. Goodbye, sweet bubble, I will miss you.
Sabine addresses the solitary figure.
She wanted to talk to the shady merchant as well, and actually left him sort of alive for once.
Just when you think a fight is about to break out, Sabile's words seem to sway him into submission. He speaks, uncomfortably. She listens, her face hard and pale. His name, you overhear her insist. Roost, he croaks. And with that, the interview's over.
Next we made it to a safe place the kid mentioned, and Red Lizard had another dreaming session with big revelations.
When we escape and find ourselves on the mainland once more, I must search for Bramos the Wanderer.
The guys in the sanctuary were waiting for a guy named Gareth, so we went looking for him. We found a skeleton who asked me if I had a weird thing called a pecker.
Go on. Show me your pecker. Wait. Do you even have a pecker?
Then I touched a shrine who brought me to a weird place where I talked to my goddess Amadia.
The madness the king unleashed on the world. Banished beyond the veil.
She told me about the king who was banished beyond the veil because they killed Mepharland and all of the elves were destroyed or something like that. I don't know, I didn't really listen. She did teach me Bless, however, which was nice, and then told me I'm destined to become divine and should get rid of the lesser creatures I travel with.
I gather that you travel with a pack of these lesser creatures. They cannot be allowed to reach its end.
The Wolfman thought we were finally good enough friends and told me who he was here to kill.
Have a read of my contract and find out.
It was Bishop Alexander, who was very important, otherwise there wouldn't be so many paintings of him hanging around. After a bit more pacifism, we found Gareth.
Name's Gareth.
He told us we were going to get a ship to escape from the island, but we need a powerful weapon to do that.
Weapons that will clear a path to Dallas's flagship.
So we went and freed a dragon from an evil witch, because dragons are very powerful. At some point we also got our collars removed. We used a powerful dragon to get rid of some deadly geniuses who Gareth called Shriekers.
Praise be! You have silenced the Shriekers and cleared our way.
Afterwards, Gareth asked us to distract Alexander so him and his friends could take over the ship we were going to use to escape.
I take the Seekers to the Lady Vengeance. You go to the ruins and keep Alexander busy.
There you are, the escapee. Ah, and Ifan Benmez too. Back in Fort Joy, I wasn't quite sure, but it really is him, the poor god's cursed soul. I'm afraid your journey ends here. If anyone is going to become the next divine, it will be me.
It went pretty well until Alexander made some gang signs which made a giant blue worm show up. I incapacitated it with the power of pacifism. Then I stole Ifan's kill so I could get the bounty all for myself.
My contract is fulfilled.
When the fight was over, an elf called Melody showed up to bring us to the ship my good friend Gareth took over.
I'm Melody, and you...
She bit my non-existent ear, which made me finally realize that these lesser creatures really have no concept of personal space.
Her nose at your ear, then bites, piercing the lobe with a needle-sharp fang. Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
Melody brought us to the ship that didn't want to move, so I had to sing it a song to wake it up.
The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber.
Let me take you wherever you wish. We can depart as soon as you are ready.
Also, Alexander was alive for some reason. Ifan had a nice chat with him.
Ifan grabs him by the jaw and shakes, violently.
Why did you trigger the death fog before the elves had a chance to escape?
No matter how loud Ifan shouts his questions, there is no response from the unconscious Alexander.
To driftwood, then.
With the sun on their backs and the wind in their sails, the God-woken watched Fort Joy shrink behind them. But their capture of the Lady Vengeance had not gone unnoticed.
Anyways, as we were peacefully sailing along, another ship showed up with the Dallas lady, who was a bit angry that we stole her ship.
I respect your mettle, sorcerers. You steal my ship, kill my bishop, and ally with demons.
Listen up. We can't win this one, but I can get us to safety. You'll need to buy me time.
Thankfully, Melody performed some weird demonic magic and got us out of there.
With the help of the half-demon Melody, the God-woken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
I went to this strange place again where I met Amadia, who is all tangled up in a tree. She talked about a void and did her best Gandalf impression.
Fly, dear Fane, fly!
Then sent me back to the ship.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up
Melody
much
gave
longer.
us a status
we need
report.
To go. Seekers dead, Alexander missing, God-woken passengers deceased.
And
now,
on we went to Reaper's Coast.
Brace yourself. This might hurt. A lot.